just here to plagiarize.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us again this week. If you're returning or maybe joining us for the first time, I think I saw one of you guys say you'd only ever watched the recordings before, and now you're here with us live. So thanks so much for making the time to do that.
Yay.
Yeah, I'm Amy from Fried Technology, and these are my colleagues, Brooke.
Hey, guys, I'm Brooke from Fried Technology, and I'm super excited to be back with everyone today.
Yep. And I'm Jessica Powell Albright with Fried Technology, and ditto to all of that.
Well, we want to tell you guys before we even really dive into our topic today, don't let us lose you. I'm telling you, Jessica has got something at the end of this presentation today that you do not want to miss. I promise you that. Even if you get started with us and you're like, well, I can't use Google Assignments. That won't work in my school district or whatever. Stick with us. First of all, you will know about a Google tool that you might not have known existed until today. And you will also get something free and cool that you're really going to want. So take a look. These slides are at fried.tech/10-14-20. Today's date, just like every week when we're doing this with you guys. And we also have brought along our handy Google Updates free or not chart. So there's been so much confusion lately about, am I going to be able to get this feature? Is it only going to be in Enterprise? What does Enterprise get? That we have started this chart. We're updating it every week. And this week we added some new features to it that weren't based on Google Classroom and Meet, which is where most of the new features are, but things that we thought you guys might care about. So please check that out. If you don't see some of these new features yet, you're probably in a scheduled release domain. And if you can see these comments in here, this will tell you when that scheduled rollout is going to start so that you'll know when to start looking for those in your domain in your school district, which they're almost always scheduled release. So you won't see those at the same time as you will if you log into, say, your Gmail account. All right. Let's dive in and get started. We're talking today about Google Assignments, which I'm curious to know if this is something other people have heard of. Jess and I, thankfully, had kind of dived into this before for a client that we had that needed this for a special purpose, and so we have access to it. If you have not ever looked at it before today, you might not end up having access to it today through the method we're going to be using, but if your school district uses an LMS that is not Google Classroom, so you use Canvas, It's Learning, Schoology, and that's your LMS, you are going to be so happy about what we're showing you today because this is going to bring all of the stuff from Google Classroom that you're missing in those learning management systems, and you're going to get it from Google over in the learning management system that your school district has decided you're going to use. So that's what Assignments is, and that's what it does. We're going to show you the standalone version of it today because that's the only way we have to demo it for you. But know that the real power of this is not the standalone version that we're showing you. It's the fact that we're demoing for you what this tool is going to do when you get it inside your LMS. Did I adequately explain that, y'all?
I think so. And I saw in the chat already that a few folks were saying that that they have already seen it in their Schoology App Center and they've seen it in their Canvas app. So if you're looking for it and you're finding it, that you're in the right place. And so that's actually how you're going to be able to gain access.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. And Amy, I was just going to tell you as soon as you got done that, man, you did a great job explaining exactly what that was.
Yes, we did spend good probably 45 minutes talking about how to describe this tool because it's just not as straightforward as most Google tools. It works inside of other things. So thank you very much, Brooke. That means a lot to me. All right. We're going to be looking at, as I said, the standalone version of it today. That standalone version for people who have used it before, they'll be able to see it. Like Jess and I, we can both see it. Brooke cannot see it because she had not used it before. That version, though, is only going to be accessible to us like this until January 15th, 2021. So let's go ahead and take a look at how you're going to get it if you cannot get to the standalone version of it. So if you're interested in using Assignments, but you don't see it inside your LMS, that probably means your admin might not have set up the connection yet. So when you're looking at our slides, and notice also all the links to the slides are right up here in the top right on every slide. So if you didn't catch that to begin with, it's right up there. So what you want to do is ask your your technology admin, so this is your tech director or whoever's designated to be the admin of Google in your school district, that's who you want to ask to connect this for you. And this is a template letter that you can use so that you can be, really clear in what you're asking for and maybe get yourself access to that.
And Amy, I've already seen in the chat a little bit, so questions about what all these other learning management systems that exist.
Yeah.
And from what we understand, the assignments app is going to be compatible with most other LMSs. So get our slides so you can click on links, and then you'll be able to take a look at those other LMSs and how you can get your technology staff to do that for you.
Right. And if you do have if you're using any other LMS besides Classroom, you want this. And if you're using Classroom, you already have this, but you're going to stick with us for the last thing we're going to show you today. So just stay. It's only 30 minutes. You can make it. So let's get through this together. So why would you want it? Why does this matter to you? Because it's going to give you the features that you may be missing if you don't have Google Classroom. And that's really the bottom line of why it matters. You can assign and collect any file type from Google Drive for student submissions, just like you can with Classroom. And it makes it really simple, just like it does with Classroom. So let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at it. I think Brooke has volunteered to be a plagiarist for us today so that we can check out the originality reports feature of it. And there's another takeaway you can get. If you are using Google Classroom and you haven't tried out the originality reports, well, they're going to work exactly like they do today in our demonstration inside your Google Classroom. And you get these no matter whether you have basic or the enterprise version. It's just in the basic version of G Suite for Education, you're going to get fewer originality reports, but still a lot. It's like 5 per assignment or something like that.
Yes.
So it's quite a bit. All right. So this is assignments.google.com. So if you're curious if you have access to it as a standalone product, remember you would have had to have accessed it before some certain point in time. We don't know what that point was. We just know that Jess and I see it and Brooke does not see it, and we're all in the same domain. And Jess and I know we worked on it previously, so we're assuming that's why we still have it. This is it. I mean, there's not a lot here to look at. So we kind of panicked when we knew we signed up to do this webinar, and we came in here and we're like, there's not much here to look at. But as we started diving into it, we started to kind of get it and see why this might matter to people. So first of all, you have to have a course, and I have one, so I'm going to select that from the list. Now, you may be wondering, did that course come from Google Classroom? It did not. I created that course inside Assignments when Assignments was a fully live tool standalone. So I'm going to call this Essay Assignment. And you guys who use Google Classroom will recognize this dialog. It looks very much like what you're going to see inside Google Classroom. And I'm going to give Brooke a very short period of time, which is probably why she's going to plagiarize, because she doesn't have long enough to really do a good job of the assignment. So I'm only going to give her an hour. And I'm going to give her a file to use. So just like in Google Classroom, I'm going to select a file to give her as a template. So I created this inside Google Drive, and now I am attaching it to this assignment. And you'll see I don't have all the options I do in Classroom, because I'm just told each student will get a copy. I can add as many files as I want, though, and they can be whatever file type I want. If I have a rubric, then I can add that here. And Jessica is going to talk to you more about that later on in this webinar, about the rubric aspect of this. So I'll leave that blank right now. And I'm going to ask this to check plagiarism. And I have 3 assignments with originality reports left because I have already used it 2 times. So initially I had 5.
So Amy, even if you delete an assignment, it still counts as you've used one of your originality reports, correct?
That's a good question, but I don't think so. I think if I go back and delete those other assignments, I will regain that, but I'm not positive. That's a really good question. I have not tested that.
No, I think that even if you use it, even if you delete it, you've used it, because remember you deleted the first one yesterday and you have 3
that's
left.
true. I did.
So
yeah. Okay. Well, that answers our question then. Yes, that is used. So you do want to be careful when you're using these and make sure like it's your big research paper for the year or whatever.
Yeah, and it's the same way in Google Classroom. When you click that little use originality report and you're not if you're not in the enterprise, if you click that little checkbox that says you're going to use the originality report, if you can't go back and change your mind. It's why it kind of warns you twice, like, hey, you're using this. So I like that it does that, because sometimes we get click happy.
Yes, we do. Definitely. Me, I'm glad I didn't use all mine. That very well could have happened. I'm very click happy. As you can see in the top right, you've got the save as draft, just like you do in Google Classroom. You've got the publish later, which is similar to schedule, of course. And then we've got the publish now. But I mean, a lot of you guys you're just Google aficionados and you care about everything Google related like we do. So you're going to be fascinated, I think, with how this works, like how it publishes, because what this has essentially done is it has made a web page out of this. So if I want Brooke is going to be the one who's completing this assignment today. If I want her to be able to get to this and complete it as a standalone product, I'm going to have to give her this link. So I'm actually going to send it to her in our private chat so that she'll be able to click on it, because in just a minute, she is going to turn in her work and we're going to be able to look at that originality report. She's got it all queued up, and I know she's very paranoid something's going to go wrong right now. She won't be able to turn it in. Brooke, do you want to show us what you're doing on your side?
See, that's why I was paranoid, because she was going to do that. Yes, I can do that.
Okay, good. Let's see what it looks like from the student's point of view. We're just interested, Brooke. That's all. We just want to know, okay?
All right. Is it going to let me pick which screen I want to show?
Yes. It is.
All right. Okay, so this is my example screen that this is the assignment that Amy just opened, and when I clicked on the link, immediately it opened up to look like this. Essay assignment, there's a doc here, and I just clicked on it just like I would normally in Google Classroom. I've opened up the document, and I am actually going to copy and paste an assignment that I already had ready to put into this document, because she wants to run the originality report. And I feel pretty confident that there are going to be some things to cite on the originality report on this for sure. And I'm going to click. Now, see, as a student, I can go ahead and run the originality report for myself. And it actually shows me a percentage of it running over here in just a second. As it's starting, it's going to let me know. And so I can check it as a student first and know, hey, I've got some serious problems here. I need to make sure I go in and check this, which I really like, because I want the student to be able to go in and correct that and fix it for themselves. And so it's not just always a, I got you, like you want to know, did I do this? Because I know I struggled with that all the time as well.
Yeah.
Okay, it's taking a while, so I'm just going to go ahead and submit so that maybe it'll run on your side.
Okay. Yeah, this is, Jess and I were both English teachers. I was a high school English teacher, and I also taught college, and especially in my college classes, this was the hardest thing that I taught is not plagiarizing. How do I teach you not to plagiarize, to properly document and all that? And it's not an easy thing to teach or learn. So I'm glad we have these tools now, because it makes a big difference. All right. Are you guys seeing my screen again? Or Brooke, do you have to stop? All right. I think we're back to me now.
Okay.
Just a little bit of a delay. Okay, I'm gonna refresh my screen, because I know now that Brooke has turned in her assignment, and my goodness, 3 flagged passages. So let's go and take a look. She's obviously getting kicked out of whatever this is. Knowing you can't go home, don't ask. No, that's not what getting kicked out around here means. But here's all the flagged passages. So let's take a look at what the originality report found. And it's interesting. It didn't take any time at all for me, I guess, because she just turned it in. And so it was all already done. So thanks for that, Brooke.
No problem.
All right, so here's the student's passage, here's the match, and here is the source. One of my personal favorite short stories of all time, The Yellow Wallpaper. Love that one. You would think it's a modern story. It's so good. And here's the second one. And here's the third one. So you can see how it's highlighting the text. I mean, it gives me a chance. If I'm a student, I want to go back and put quotation marks around that and put a citation. I have a great chance to do that. But that is what the originality reports look like. Are we getting any questions, you guys? I haven't looked at the chat in a minute.
We do have some questions. So if we are 100% Google Classroom, does this work for us?
The answer is yes, because you already have all these features inside Google Classroom, and no, because you're not going to use Google Assignments, which is a separate tool. So what we're going to show you at the end today that we keep alluding to, that's 100% going to work for you, and I can almost guarantee you're going to be glad you stayed here to get it. But as far as using assignments as a standalone tool, you won't, but then you are using aspects of it inside Google Classroom. So there you go. Kind of yes and no at the same time. Yeah.
And that answers two of them. The other one from Luke, is there a way to use the Google Assignment LTI tool in Canvas and make it a non-graded assignment? The teacher just wants to share the document where it makes a copy for students and not grade.
I don't know the answer to that for sure. My inclination is that yes, you would be able to do that, because this is just tying two databases together, so I can't think why it would limit your functionality like that, but I haven't tried it myself, so I can't say for sure.
I think the bottom line would be, does Canvas allow you to have assignments that aren't graded?
Right.
And because Google certainly does. Your assignment certainly will let you make it an ungraded assignment. So if Canvas is the bridge and it requires a grade, then that's probably a Canvas topic that you might need to research a little bit more on.
Yeah, Canvas is very, very flexible and functional. I would be really surprised if you can't do that.
Yeah.
So we wanted to give you guys who are here today who do use Google Classroom some takeaways, and this is where they start, because if you're using Classroom, you recognize the page we're looking at right now. This is exactly the same page that you see inside Google Classroom. And this is the page where I, as a teacher, can give feedback, can grade, and all that. And so we thought we'd spend a couple of minutes here showing you some little kind of tips and tricks that you might want to know for here. First of all, I think probably most of you guys know already that I can comment right here. So I can type a message to Brooke right here. She can write me back, etc. That's probably not new information. But I don't know if everybody is using the comment bank already. So this is the comment bank. You can add to the comment bank, and maybe you are having a struggle with your students plagiarizing, and you want to write up a comment that you can use over and over and over again. And maybe, you know how much we love emojis around here. Maybe you want to use your emoji keyboard and you want to put some emojis inside here too. So I don't know what emoji I should put for plagiarism. Let's say the skull and crossbones, perhaps.
Yeah.
Let's say, watch out. This passage looks like it might be plagiarized.
I like how nice you are about it, because we're pretty sure it's 100% plagiarized.
I always try to assume the best, right? Assume good intentions if you can. So once I've got that comment in there, then I can tie it to as many students' work as I want. So Brooke, you taught me something about pulling up these comments. What was it?
Yep, just like you did. If you start typing, you can pull it up there. A lot of times you can, when it first came out, you had to put a hashtag in first to get all the comments up. But I don't know if they've taken that out. But if you just start typing a few of the words that are in there, you'll pull it up.
Great. So I can just start typing the first few letters. It pops up. I can click it. It's going to pop right into the blank like that. So I really want to type just a little bit, because there it is. And now I can add that comment over and over again and not have to retype it. Now, further question. What if I wanted to go to like Purdue's OWL website and I wanted to add in a web link about what plagiarism is, so that if my students like, plagiarism, what is that? I don't even know what that means. Could I also add in a URL?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. So, and you could shorten it if you wanted to make it look cleaner. So for example, let's just pretend that this is our website. You could use your bit.ly shortener, whatever shortener you prefer. You could get that short URL, because remember, you're going to be using this over and over and over again. Whoops, wrong page, this page. And you could pop that right in there and save it. And now if I delete that add a comment back again, let me use the same one. I think we will see when that pops in that that is a hyperlink, and I think that's pretty cool.
And that is really cool.
Is there anything else y'all would add here to this kind of dialogue that we're really seeing from Google Classroom that you think people should know about that they might not know?
Yeah, I would say just like you added that link to a website, this is a great place to add a link to maybe a screencast that you've created that is giving your student more personal feedback. And by personal, I just mean, your inflection and your tone and your concern and your caring, because sometimes comments obviously can come across as cold or they might be misinterpreted. So I love the ability to just put the link to my screencast video that I made in there. It's a really handy way to give feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you've got a screencast video created, you can just grab the link from that. We love Screencastify around here and use it all day long, every day. It's really easy to get a URL. You can paste that right in there and give Brooke access to that video so that if maybe this is just a first draft or second draft, not her final, she can watch it and get some further information about what she needs to do. Yep. And then, just like in Classroom, I can click return. I can give it a grade or not in here, and Brooke will be able to get that assignment back, continue working on it, and submit it again if she wants. Now, Brooke, on your side, do you have an unsubmit option?
I do.
All right. So just like in Classroom, you can bring that assignment back to yourself, continue working on it, and turn it in again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Well, I've kind of been, oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, I was just about to say we have a couple questions, and then we have Jess's big giveaway.
Ooh.
No pressure at all.
None at all. We put a lot of pressure on it, actually. There's quite a bit. Don't kid yourself. Any questions we should talk about, though, first?
I like the one from Jenny. Jenny says, is there a limit on the number of comments you can put in a bank? And Jenny, I don't know 100% if this is true or not, but I have so many comments in my bank and I've never been given any sort of warning message or any sort of thing that I have any sort of limit. And I probably have 100 or more comments.
Yeah, I was just looking and just to see if I could find something real fast to make sure, and I can't find anywhere where there's a limit. So
it may be one of those where the limit's so high it doesn't matter because no normal person is ever going to reach that limit.
Right.
Now, if anybody gets there, you got to let us know because we don't want to be, like lying to people or anything.
Yeah.
But
yeah. And Amy, I think you should just one more time talk about why you wouldn't use this assignments if you were using Google Classroom.
Okay. Yeah, great. No problem. It is very confusing. We do not disagree with you there. So if you're using Google Classroom, you already have these features. So you can look at this page. You've seen this exact page inside Google Classroom. This is a way for people who don't have Google Classroom to get some aspects of Google Classroom. So the scenario is your school district has decided, hey, as a school district, we're going to use X, Y, or Z LMS. That's our decision. We've turned off Classroom sometimes because we're going to make everybody use this same platform. We want consistency or whatever. And people, we come and we do Google training with you and people are just like almost in tears. Like, I wish we had Google Classroom because it does this awesome thing that my LMS doesn't do, can't do. And we get to give people the good news. Your LMS can do that if your administrator installs Google Assignments. You will add that functionality and feature to your LMS. So
I just saw a comment come through and I want to speak of it for just a second. It says, can the originality track the plagiarism from another student from another class? And in the enterprise version, that is possible. So if the admin in the dashboard turns on that feature, it will actually upload the docs that are being used and they will store and then they will be checked across Google Classroom as well in the enterprise version.
Yeah, and if your district is buying a product, in order to do that, make sure that your district leaders know that that's a feature of enterprise because you may be able to get all these cool features in enterprise for, and I don't know what the prices are, but you can save money on that other product by adding this. So make sure they know just to do that cost benefits analysis if that's something that you think your district might be purchasing already.
We had a great question about the comment bank.
Okay.
Somebody had asked two questions. I think we can answer all in one fell swoop. The question that I saw first was, can you delete comments from your comment bank? And Amy, if you want to show it on your screen, you absolutely can. All you have to do is go to your comment bank, find the comment that you want to delete, hover over it until you see the three dots, and choose delete. And the second question that came through that I thought was worth kind of tying in is, do your comments carry across all classes, or are they just for this one single class? And I can say with 100% certainty that they carry across your classes, because I have a brand new Google Classroom. I just took a look at it, and I do already have comments in that comment bank that I did not put in that class because they're from other classes that I've created.
Well, this may be an interesting little factoid too. I did not add these comments in the Google assignments. I added them in Google Classroom. So I think they're tied to my account. And no matter where I go, if I see them, they're there.
Yep.
All right. Are we ready for the big moment?
We are.
The moment we've all been waiting for?
We're down to the very end.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm so excited to share this with you. Once I heard about this, I'm a big rubrics person. When I was in the classroom with my students, we used rubrics for everything. We used rubrics for practice work. We used rubric for group projects. We used rubrics for everything. And so in Google Classroom and in Google Assignments, you can activate the rubric. And I want to show you two strategies that you can use with creating rubric. So let me open a class real quick that has no students in it. There we go. And I'll share my screen if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, please.
Okay. Let me find my tab. There we go. All right. So we are looking at a class where I have some existing activities. Now, if I have an existing activity, I'm using Classroom right now, but the same strategy works with Google Assignments, and I'll switch over so you can see it as well. I just want to point out that the rubrics part of assignments is available when you edit any assignment. So I'm going to go ahead and look at this assignment. It's been created already, and I want to edit it. So let me see here. Edit this assignment. So we are in the assigning phase. So this looks just like when I'm creating an assignment in assignments. Would you guys agree with that? This is a real similar setup. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have this option over here on the right. I don't know if you guys can see that, to create a rubric. So when I click on that little box to create a rubric, I have a couple of options. I have the ability to create one from scratch, which is usually what I do just in the moment. I just type something up. I have the ability to reuse a rubric from a previous assignment, and I have the ability to import a rubric from a sheet. So I've been playing around with this for quite some time because it's a feature that's been available, and it's not 100% like intuitive in my brain. I have a weird brain, I think, but I had to really play around with it a little bit. So here's what I want you to see what it does. So I'm going to choose import from sheets. And it's going to bring up all of my spreadsheets in my Google Drive. And I have one that you guys can have today. I'm going to give you a copy of it. But it is a template from a previous rubric. And what it does is it imports in my, my criterion, my descriptions, the point values, the levels, and their descriptions. Now, this is pretty generic that you can import, but here's why I like it. Not just that I can come in here and have some stuff preloaded, but it does save me some time when I'm developing the rubric. Like if I start with my spreadsheet rubric, my template every time, then I already have my point values set up. I already have my levels, my level titles already set up that I use all the time because they align with our state standards. And all I have to do is go in and change things like maybe the description or the criterion description. Does that make sense to you guys, Amy and Brooke?
Yes, Jess, we've got 2 minutes left. Do you want to show the template real quick, or do you want me to?
Yeah, the template is very simple to get to. Yeah, if you guys want to pull up the good gravy, I have like so many tabs open and I've lost my tab.
Amy, you want to share because we need that last slide on the slide deck.
Thank you for doing that.
I have it open. There you go.
You.
So this is the template. I think that it will make total sense to probably everybody in education. Word to the wise, do not change rows 1 and 2. Do not change any of these rows that have a formula in them. So for example, if you want to make this 5 and this 1, go for it, but just do it on this row instead of this one where you see a formula in there.
Yep.
Anything else, you can type over what's there and make it your own. And that's why it's so handy, because once you save this in Google Drive, then you can just copy it, make as many templates as you want for as many different assignments as you want, and you can easily import them into Google Classroom.
Yeah,
So-
and I would really recommend, if you're going to edit your rubric, import the template that we're giving you, but change it once it's in Google Classroom. Once it's in that little rubric editor, that's a lot easier, and you're going to be guaranteed to have all the right data in your template.
Yeah, good point. You won't accidentally mess it up if you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Well, I hope you guys are as excited about that as we were when we thought, hey, we could give them this. So there it is. That's the big thing. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new today. Be sure to sign up for the next time we're going to be meeting together. This is the URL for that. And we're really hoping to see you guys again next week and that you learned something new.
And
Thanks
Amy,
a
this
lot
is
for
where they can
watching.
find the recordings as well, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep, you
Yeah,
can also
we-
find the recordings there.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have lots of people asking about the recording. So go over there and to that website right there, and you'll be able to find the recordings and sign up for the rest.
Yep. Awesome. Well, thanks a lot, you guys. It was a pleasure to work with you again this week, and we look forward to seeing you again. I think we're back next week, aren't we?
I think so.
Yes. Mhm.
Awesome.
You're never
All
getting
right.
rid of us, guys.
Nope, nope. This is it. This is where you spend your 12:30 Wednesday time slot now, depending on your
Yeah.
time zone. So thanks a lot. Bye, everybody.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.